Welcome to Home Care Matters, the show where we discuss all things home care, with discussions on important age-related matters and topics. Brought to you by Enriched Life Home Care Services, the #1 rated home care provider in Michigan by Top Rated Local.
Hello and welcome back to All Home Care Matters. If this is your first time visiting us here at the show, thank you for taking time out to be with us today. We appreciate how valuable everyone's time is, and that's why we try and make each episode here at All Home Care Matters something that will hopefully matter to you. Now, on today's episode, we're going to be discussing a topic that everyone can relate to, and that's nutrition and hydration. This topic is especially important, though, for seniors. The importance of eating healthy, drinking enough water, and living a healthy lifestyle isn't something that's just done periodically or on certain days, but on every day. This is especially true for our seniors. The food that they eat has an impact on their bodies and can affect their quality of life and their longevity. The National Institute of Health reports that those who have a balanced diet in their golden years experience a reduced risk of developing high blood pressure, heart disease, osteoporosis, and even some certain types of cancer. And some recent studies have even suggested that good eating habits can help prevent the onset of Alzheimer's disease. Now, there are no two diets that are alike, and everyone has their own likes and dislikes, and they have to cater to their own eating habits to meet their body's needs. The challenge is in finding the right balance of nutrients, vitamins, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and each person should do so with the help of a healthcare professional. However, there are some general guidelines and tips for seniors, especially those trying to reduce, prevent, or halt cognitive decline that's associated with dementia. Again, though, always talk with your loved one and your loved one's doctor before trying these suggestions and implementing them into your loved one's diet and lifestyle. The benefits for seniors in having a healthy diet and hydration is important, as we've already discussed, and we're going to discuss the top nutrition and hydration tips for seniors. First, avoid fatty foods that are derived from animals. Dairy and meats can be substituted with vegetables, peas, beans, whole grains, and these diets can have the ability to help reduce risk for certain health defects that are common among seniors, which is why the American Dietetic Association also supports vegetarianism and veganism. Accordingly, a report from the ADA in 2009 stated that appropriately planned vegetarian diets, including total vegetarian or vegan diets, are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits in the prevention and treatment of certain diseases. Next, minimize saturated fats and trans fats. Saturated fats and trans fats have long been linked to the increased risk of cardiovascular conditions and the clogging of arteries. With these fats causing the stifling of blood flow, these fats can have the capacity to reduce the delivery of oxygen to the brain, which can then lead to an exacerbation of cognitive decline that's associated with dementia. With eliminating these fats and increasing a plant-based diet, it will reduce the saturated fat intake coming from animal products. However, the trans fats are most commonly found in your fried foods and in your snacks. They should avoid and reduce these products with a partially hydrogenated oils, which are trans fats. Now, we have looked at some changes that they can make in their diet and nutrition. Let's talk about the importance of hydration. When we talk about hydration, I like to share a story of an elderly woman that a family had shared with us. This family had wanted to get their mother some extra help since her memory loss had progressed to a point where they were starting to have concerns about her hygiene and her diet. They had shared with us that she wasn't eating anything other than some cookies and either a bologna sandwich or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for her one meal of the day. But now they were starting to have to deal with constant UTIs or urinary tract infections every few weeks, and they couldn't get it under control. So we had asked them about her fluid intake, and they said she refused to drink water because she loved Sprite and thought it offered her the same benefits as water does. And that was basically, it was water in a bottle with a little bit of fizz, because it was clear like water was. They said their mother probably hadn't drank 20 ounces of water combined in 3 to 4 weeks. This was concerning to them, and they were told by her doctor that she was very dehydrated and that it would help to drastically reduce her UTI problem if she would start drinking more water. But the question was, how could they get her to drink more water? One of the solutions was to get a couple empty Sprite 2-liter bottles and replace one of them with water only. In the other bottle, they would make it a 50-50 split between water and Sprite. This trick had actually worked for them, and they were able to help their mother's UTI problems, but they were also able to help get her rehydrated. It had just taken a little creativity. Another creative trick, if you want to call it that, is one we have recommended to families at our caregiver support groups for their loved ones who they question if they're getting enough water to drink as well, is take a gallon milk jug and clean it out thoroughly, then draw a line around it with a permanent marker and fill the water up to the line. And this works better, though, if you do live close by and you can stop over frequently to see the progress. And after a day or so, go visit and look at that milk jug and measure how much water they have drank since you first filled it up to the measuring line. This will hopefully help the family gauge their loved one's fluid intake. Drinking enough water is important for anyone, regardless of their age. However, though, it's even more vital for seniors. There are a number of health benefits that water provides, but there are also some negative effects that can be exacerbated if enough water is not being drank. For instance, a lack of water or fluids can cause the symptoms of Alzheimer's to become worse, and those suffering with the dementia to become more confused or disoriented, and consequently more irritable. A condition that we should all be aware of, especially of our senior loved ones, is dehydration. Our brains are composed of 3/4 water, and that can lead to the brain potentially shrinking. Now, vice versa, proper hydration has a multitude of benefits, like proper hydration equals healthy cognitive functioning, increased memory function and concentration, and mood. We need to also, though, mention briefly that some seniors may have fluid restrictions due to health-related conditions, and if that's the case, their water and fluid intake would need to be monitored accordingly. Now, some of the information and data used for this episode of All Home Care Matters was from agelessliving.com. We want to thank you for joining us here at All Home Care Matters. All Home Care Matters is here for you and to help families as they navigate long-term care issues. Please visit us at allhomecarematters.com, where there's a private, secure, fillable form that you can give us feedback, or maybe you have show ideas or questions. Every form is read and responded to, and if you know someone who could benefit from this episode, please share it with them. We hope you'll join us next time at All Home Care Matters, where we're going to talk about what is hospice. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to you joining us again on another episode of Home Care Matters. To learn more about the show and to connect with us, visit us at allhomecarematters.com.